Good morning to all of you. Kamal, thank you very much for getting me here today. And speaking about IC engines and even hearing about IC engines is a pleasure for me. I have almost spent whole of my academic life, I should say, in this subject. As Kamal was putting it, yes, he did his PhD with me and he was last but one student. And he has worked on the most important point of emission control, which I think he has used that knowledge which he's generated. He has used a lot post PhD period, and he's been conducting lots of courses which are so useful in terms of technology development as well as in terms of parting the knowledge to new engineers and making them ready for industry contribution. So that's this, and I must thank Dr. Sipse. Of course, I have not met him many times, and also Dr.
Vani.
Dr. Vani. Dr. Vani, you are dealing with a very important point, and that is filtration. And you know, in IC engines, filtration in every circuit is one of the most important parameter, and that's what decides the life and performance of the engine.
Yep.
Dr. Vora, I should congratulate you for choosing this very important point for the event. IC engines are the prime movers, which on a global basis are supposed to be generating almost 90% of motive power. This is mainly because of their participation in automobiles and various kind of automotive and other industries. There have been lot of times when IC engines were considered the most important system in mechanical engineering. And there were also times when it was considered that yes, automotive engines have reached their research epitome and no more research is needed. So automotive engines, especially IC engines, have gone through a total metamorphosis in its life, and it has been a very important research subject. And that's how Kamal happened to come to me for doing his PhD. Automotive engines, particularly IC engines, are so important that today they are considered, in a way, an indicator of economic and industrial development of a country. Because it's the transport sector which decides it. Is the nature of motive power that they generate and the kind of industry which is supported by IC engines. Importance of IC engines also comes from the fact that if you consider IC engines as a system, mechanical engineering system, and if you go through the whole construction and performance and operation of this machine, you are essentially talking about a temperature range of almost atmospheric temperature to few thousand degrees centigrade. You are also talking about the atmospheric pressure and going up to some 100 bar pressures. We are also talking of multi-fuels. Fuels have changed. There used to be at one time, it was only spark ignition, then diesels, then came dual fuels, and now it is gas engines. So any kind of fuel finally finds its way to IC engines and finds its way successfully and therefore it contributes to its further development. IC engines have become very important in the research area, also because of the fact that they are associated with today's most critical two problems. What are those problems? Problems are fuel crisis or energy crisis and environmental crisis. If we talk of environmental crisis, I think people immediately point out towards IC engines and say, okay, these are the machines which have contributed a lot means really lot, to whatever is the deterioration of environment, especially in bigger cities. When we talk of environmental problems, these are the things. Then comes, if they are popular and if they are going to remain, because if the fuels can change, if the emissions can change, if the machine itself can change, if the drivability of the whole machine can change, and also its application range can change, where is it that IC engines cannot be used? It is omnipresent. It can be used everywhere. It can be used with every fuel. It can also be used to satisfy almost all norms of emissions. You see, and if it is so, it offers a range of research, a scope of research, which also means scope of development. Scope of development would also mean a scope of development of a nation, a country, a place, and therefore the importance of IC engines. I'm really very happy to be associated with IC engines. I'm equally happy to be associated with all of you. Dr. Tipse, I have not met you many times, as I said, and also Dr. Bani. I'm sorry. No. And of course, Kamal has been my student. All the participants who are present today here, I must say, they are very lucky. They are dealing with a very important point. They are dealing with a subject which gives them extraordinary scope of further progress in their own field. They are dealing with a subject which offers a range of applications where these machines could be found. Every new day, you find a new fuel, a new technology, a new characteristic, operational characteristic of the machine, and so on. So all of you who are attending this course, please consider this machine as the mother of all the mechanical engineering systems. You talk of vibrations, IC engines have problems. You talk of fuels, IC engines have a problem. You talk of environment, IC engine problems have to be solved yet, and anything. And therefore, you all are going to handle very important points, very important problems of nation. And therefore, you will have a lot in your hand to be able to contribute to the development of nation. Powertrain is really powertrain. Don't take it lightly. Take it as seriously as possible and know that there are multiple directions in which you can contribute. I wish you all the best. I wish Kamal all the best, and Mr. Vani and Dr. Tipse. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for getting me here. It has been a pleasure meeting all of you, and it is a much bigger pleasure for me to talk about IC engines. Thank you very much.